Hey y'all, welcome to What's Up Next. I'm Demetrius.
And I'm Justeen.
You are now tuned into our podcast where we take a deep dive into some interesting topics and everyday situations that we face as a young millennial couple.
For those of you who don't know us, What's Up Next is a play on my soon-to-be last name, but it's for sure a common phrase in our household. Anyway, let's stop talking and let's get into this week's episode.
Let's get it.
By this episode, I hope anybody listening loves that beat as much as I do.
Yeah.
Shout out to Loza,
who is a former teammate of mine when I was at Willamette University. Dude is mad talented with beats, man, and just sent us a package, and we ended up liking that beat. And I'm glad we picked that beat.
Man.
So, Loza, thank you, bro. Shout out to you, man. Wish you much success. For today's topic, what we talking about?
Today, I'm going to interview my fiance today. And I'm interviewing him not as Demetrius Watts, but as Cuts by Watts. Why are you laughing?
That's funny.
I'm serious.
That's funny. All right, go ahead.
All right, so one thing I know, dating a barber, beautiful relationships that can be cultivated from dating a barber. I'm just saying, as a person who's, like, as me, I've built a lot of relationships with your clients. But one thing that I notice dating you, and in the field that you're in, is you've paid for a lot of knowledge, but you've also gotten free game on a lot of things based on the positions you put yourself in. I want to know, from Cuts by Watts, what is the difference between the two?
That's a tough one. I'm definitely an advocate of free game. I don't believe everything needs to be withheld or only given with payment or compensation of some form. But I would say that the biggest differences between free game and knowledge that should be paid for in some way is, does that knowledge, will that knowledge bring you wealth, revenue, something of that substance? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, give me an example though.
So, okay, get free game. Somebody asked me, what brokers you use to trade, and what are the benefits of that? I am without hesitation going to say, I use this and I use this. This is why. Now, if someone wants to say, how are you trading, or what steps should I do to trade, or
what stocks did you trade?
What stocks am I trading? Now, I don't have no issue sharing that information because I'm not a guru at the thing and that's not my expertise. However, if I was somebody, I would expect some type of compensation for the knowledge that I'm giving you, knowing that it's going to benefit you in the long run, and either in this situation bring you monetary gains.
Right. Can you give me an example? And I'm really doing this for y'all. Can you give me an example of something that you've paid for and something that you've gotten for free as a barber? Because I know, like, you went to New York and that was an experience and you did a lot of hard work to get there, and that was not by any means free game.
Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. I could give you a perfect situation of that.
Okay.
So I paid for a trip. Well, got funded. Shout out to my people in my village who afforded me the opportunity to go to New York to take a class for barbering, and I paid for that class, right? Class is over, whatever. I have a flight the next day. I hit the instructor up and said, hey, man, before my flight, do you mind if I stop by at the shop and chop it up with you and do whatever? He said, yeah, absolutely. Ended up taking me to the airport after, we were had broken bread, and I got to watch him perform another cut. And it was, I use that example because I got the benefits of the free game after I had invested and showed that,
that's a great example.
I respect your knowledge. I respect what you're offering. And any real person is going to know, like, I just want you to value what I'm giving you. That's the biggest thing. It's not so much that they want to charge you for it, but I know that the knowledge I'm giving you holds value, and I need you to value it the same way that I value it. Because if you don't, you're either not going to implement this information and knowledge that I'm giving you, or you're going to share it with somebody else who's not going to respect it the way that you respect it. And making people pay for knowledge just keeps those, I don't want to say barriers, but just keeps that respect for the knowledge boundaries there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the barber industry, there's a lot of game or stuff that I pay for with my services. There's people like, hey man, are you gonna do a YouTube on that? And it's like, yeah, I'll keep it in mind. But knowing deep down, I would never like take that route and give out free game that I know many of my peers are charging for classes and courses to teach other people about it, one-on-ones or group courses. If it's a look and learn, I just wouldn't do that because I know that information holds value, and it ain't in me to undercut someone else or a group of people for my own personal gain. And I just understand the value, and I had to be taught that, you know what I'm saying, between my barber colleagues in the industry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who are older than me and more advanced in barbering. I remember it was something like I'm using an app, and one of my guys who's also in New York had asked me like, yo, what app is this? You know, and he has given me plenty of game. He called me and checked on me all the time when I was in college, you know, and without hesitation, because I knew he had poured into me, I'd be a sucker if I withheld information, something that was just an app, you know what I'm saying, that I was using to run my business. And so I shared it with him. And he was like, for sure, bro, keep that within the family. And that kind of stuck with me. I'm like, you know, he's like, you know, you could give it out, and then everybody's going to look how you look, or people are going to, you know, take it and do with what they will. But
he understood.
He just understood, like, that's something valuable. And if you want to hold on to that, you don't necessarily have to charge people for it, but, you know, be wise with what you do with it. And it's always a thin line. And I always try to understand, like, all right, is the knowledge I have worth withholding, or is it worth, you know, giving out? Because I'm a huge giver, and I give free game all the time. I can give away free equipment. You know, I'm not a person who I only want to see me win. That's not even in my gene. But I had to be taught, you know, how to keep information valuable.
How do you go about when people ask you, hey, bro, what's this? Or can you tell me what soap you're using for the beard wash? Like
same premise. So there's certain stuff like that where it's like, yo, like I said, if you pour it into me, or if we have a conversation, or
transactional,
if I know you have invested in education in some other form, and you're not just looking to come up on something without actually making true and honest efforts to either do the research on your own or pay somebody else who isn't me, I pay attention to those things. And that's kind of how I decide what information I'm willing to share regarding that topic. And there's certain things, like within the shop, certain equipment that, you know, we have paid for to know how to use and to know where to get it. And, you know, a lot of people want access to that but haven't done the things that we have done. So advanced education, or continued education, as we would say in barbering, is out after barber school. Have you done continued education? Have you taken courses? Have you gone and done a one-on-one to learn different services? Yeah. And that's a big thing as far as with us, we would say, you know, advanced barbers, or we're not just cutting hair. We offer, you know, hydrotherapy, bald treatments, ingrown hair removals.
Right. And one thing, and this is not to promote you, but anytime I can promote my baby, I will, is one thing you've started to offer is consultation calls. Mm-hmm. And you've had experiences where people are like, I think you're confused with the question I'm asking. And you're like, no, I'm not confused with the question you're asking. I'm telling you, go book that consultation call. Yeah. And you and Banks have said it on several occasions. And for anybody that's just now tuning in, Armand Banks is his, I guess, partner, his business partner.
For sure, my partner. Yeah.
So if you don't know who we're talking about, because he'll be referred a few times, I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
You guys have talked about it on multiple occasions where people want the information but don't want to pay for it, but trying to push them to, hey, go ahead and book that. Even if you're just paying me $5 for 5 minutes, you gonna have to pay something to get this answer,
because it needs to be valuable to to you. It's
Yeah.
not about me. I don't need your money. I don't. And I don't say that in a cocky way like I'm just this rich and wealthy man walking on these streets. Nah, I'm hungry and I'm grinding just like everybody else. But I need y'all I need the people who are inquiring about that information to truly understand the value of it and to respect it.
Yeah.
There was one, and there's an instrument that we use, and somebody was like, "Oh man, it's just blowing steam," and we're like, "That's the issue right there. You don't respect it enough." You know,
I've been one of those people. I was like, "Y'all just using brown sugar?" Nope, it was way more than that. And even
it wasn't even.
let me tell you this: as a fiance, I didn't even get the free game.
What is it?
To this day, I'm still like, "What is it? What does it do?" And I don't know what it is. And this man comes home every day after using that. You know what I'm saying? So people have to understand. You have to be a sponge. You have to be willing to have interactions and transactions and understand the difference and being like, hey, I want to learn this. Either you're going to value your time and research it all day long on YouTube, or you're going to pay
get the direct
and get it
link.
in an hour.
Straight like that. And take it away from barbering. Everybody does this. Everybody does it. Real estate does it.
Come on. We do it. I train people for a living in a corporate setting. Everybody does it.
Right. People who are consultants, that's all they do. We're in an age of it where, what are they called?
People think they're...
No, what is it? Physical trainers.
Oh, yeah.
Physical trainers. You can look up and it's tough because I did it. You can go on Google and figure out what are things you should and shouldn't be eating.
Don't mean that's...
You know what workouts...
Right.
Will get the job done. But yet we still trust people who have put in time and energy to figure out, like, I know I've had results doing this, using this product, doing this strategic practice, and I know I can get you the results that you desire. That does not come free, though.
No.
And we got to get out the belief that, if you're my partner, if you're the homie, if I said what's up to you before, if I knew you from way back when, that you're just entitled to knowing what I know, especially if I went out my way to learn the information. That's like even me, you know what I'm saying? As a fiance, like, oh, yeah, I know you went and got your real estate license. Okay, what's up? Everything you know, what I need to do. Like, no, I didn't put the energy forward necessary to even show true commitment. I just want to come up because I know somebody, you, the closest, you know what I'm saying, close person to me that I can just gain information from. That's not how we get down. That's not how we get down. That's not how I get down. And you know how I am with that information that you have.
Yeah.
I never want to disrespect you and just think that you're supposed to give me that after you put in X amount of time.
We had that when we first started dating, cars, and
right.
It was just right. And I say that on a minimal level, but we've always been like,
I was for sure put me
Watts
on.
recently taught me, if you know it, do it. If you don't know it, don't do it. Right? There's certain things that I know that he's going to be good at and he's going to be better at than I am. There's certain things I'm better at than he is.
Facts.
You have to be willing to understand that in a relationship level, but on a professional level, you have to be willing to understand you're going to have to pay to get that.
Straight like that.
So
they say you need to pay like you weigh, and that's just what it is. Man. Don't be in here demanding a whole lot but coming in with pennies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's transactional. And I'm not even saying that you need, and that's why I said I don't want to say just monetary compensation. Compensate with something else. Compensate with your effort and your energy. I know there's a whole lot of people that just respect what you bring to the table. For example, shameless plug, my guy Darius Newkirk, and Focus on Physical. You know what I'm saying? Through COVID, when times got, I was like, yo, bro, I'm not sure if I'll be able to continue, you know what I'm saying, to rock with your program. But it's all love. He's like, bro, you make me a better coach. I still wanna work with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't sweating off the monetary
value he was gaining.
Yeah, but he was just like, bro,
the relationship he was gaining.
You bring the energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your effort is always there. And that just reinforces the statement. Compensation. Don't come to the table empty-handed. Offer something.
Yeah.
And the real one's going to see the value in what you bring. And so that's what I would have to say on that.
And I think that's our business tip of the day. That is our business tip of the day. And I just want to thank Cuts by Watts for joining me today on this fine podcast.
Absolutely. And if you're in the Dallas or greater DFW area and you're looking for 2 professional barbers who have invested a whole lot into their industry, check out We Are The Professionals on IG. Me and my boy Banks, we get down straight like that.
And with that, we'll exit and stay tuned for next week's episode.